also want to become friends with crows. That would be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of, The Crow comes out in some weeks.
So does
Cuckoo.
And we haven't talked about Alien Romulus yet.
Right?
Okay.
The trailer for it? Holy shit.
Let me do a quick intro and then we can talk about Hi, welcome to Never Show the Monster. My name is Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Hollander.
And today we are going to talk about Longlegs, which we are very excited about. But first, the Alien Romulus trailer.
Yeah.
Dude.
From the director of Evil Dead, is that right?
Yes.
Remake?
Uh-huh.
And it looks...
Don't Breathe?
Yeah.
Which I
Weird.
remember people liking, and I was always like, I don't know how that could be good. So maybe I should watch it.
Maybe we should watch it, yeah. Man, it looks so good.
So good. And like horror.
Yeah.
Like they are doing horror big. Oh, I can't wait. And there are two parts in that trailer specifically that like get me every time. Every time the trailer cues up before a movie, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for those two parts. Doing my raccoon hands. And one of them is, it starts off with the cliche line in space, no one can hear you scream or whatever. Mm-hmm. And all the sound drops out and we just get like a montage of people yelling. Oh God, that like gave me goosebumps the first time I saw it. And then I think it's the very end of the trailer that's like, it's the same shot that we know of Ripley, where the alien is like up in her face and she's facing away from it, but toward the camera with like a knife in her hand. Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait.
I wasn't that excited about it, but after seeing the trailer, it's just like, because like we had, what was it? Prometheus?
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one that came out?
I don't remember.
There was another one, and I saw Prometheus. I think I did see the other one, but my brain didn't keep it.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about the other one.
Yeah.
But it was still Fassbender, right? It was Fassbender again? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about that.
I remember liking Prometheus.
Agreed. And people didn't, broadly.
Yeah. And then the second one, I just don't remember at all. And then, yeah, this one, I'm just really, really hyped about it. And I remember the first thing I heard about it was that Ridley Scott had said that they had done well. And he, like, gave a sign-off. And I was like, damn.
Damn. Okay. That's exciting to hear.
Feeling good about it. Feeling good.
I feel like they're playing longer trailers for it now. I feel like there was a shorter trailer earlier that didn't have me super excited. I was like, I can't actually tell from this if it's horror or sci-fi. And either is fine with me. Do whatever.
But more excited about the horror one.
Going to be more excited about horror.
I would watch it if it were sci-fi. I would still watch it.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't stop me from watching it. But now I'm like psyched.
Oh God, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
What else is there?
But yeah, Cuckoo is coming out finally. The Crow. There was one more. There's one more.
I know, and the one we were most excited about in all of time, though, was Longlegs.
Yes.
And it lived up to it. It met it. The hype was high, and it did not disappoint.
Okay, so moments before we jumped on, I was thinking about how incredible their marketing was.
Yes.
I feel like we've been excited about Longlegs for months and months and months, and for, I don't know, half of those months, we had no idea what it was about. We had that, like, one guerrilla marketing style trailer that was, like, just a phone call.
The police phone call, yeah.
Yeah.
And before that, we were just, like, Longlegs. We had a name, and we had Oz Perkins. And then that was it. And then we were like, yeah.
I'm on board. And so I was trying to do a little bit of research about that guerrilla marketing before we jumped on. And I didn't get very far because I went down a marketing rabbit hole.
Oh, good.
So here is what I saw. That Neon is the production company behind the movie. And they were very supportive with Osgood Perkins. Aww. And yeah, they just like, they loved everything about it. And so there was a $10 million marketing budget.
Wow.
I know. And leading up to getting the ball rolling on all of that, they went to Perkins and they were like, how do you feel about us just like fucking going for it? Like, what if we go fucking insane on this marketing? And he was like, what else are we doing here? Like, if you don't go big, then what's the point? Like, yeah, let's do it. And so, yes, there was all of those like little trailers. I guess there were way more. I think I saw that there were like
I
12.
avoided them after, like, I think the moment I knew a little bit, I tried to avoid everything because I was like, this is a movie that I'm so excited about. I want to go into completely blind.
Which is my MO for most trailers. I think that the only one I saw was the one that you sent me, you know, a year ago, however long ago it was. It was so long ago where you were like, Osgood Perkins, look at this weird trailer. And I was like, I'm on board. And then I avoided it all until they started playing them before movies in the theater. Yeah. And so I guess that there were a bunch of like small, weird trailers. And they're also, and this is where I started going down a rabbit hole, they also published like Longlegs cipher in a newspaper in Seattle.
And damn.
People, I know, and people like cracked the code. And if I'm remembering correctly, that cipher pointed people to a website that exists in universe. And the website is thebirthdaymurders.net.
Oh my God.
And it is so fascinating. And I was reading it right up until we jumped on. And at the end of the website, there's a thing that I haven't gotten to fully explore yet. So let me describe this website for our listeners.
And for me.
And for you. It looked like you were about to go to it.
I'm not going to go to it because I'm going to be the listener as well.
Okay. So you land on this website and it looks like a 90s website. Like, do you remember?
Love it.
I'm going to do some integrated marketing for our other podcast debut buddies. Do you remember when we covered Ted the Caver? And the format,
was it the same?
It's very similar.
Oh my gosh.
It's very nostalgic. And when I pulled it up, this has to be a code. This has to be like a script built into loading the website because all of the images load slowly from top to bottom like they did in the 90s. It's so fun. And it has like very basic navigation with all of the like old style icons. So everything looks like a folder, like a manila folder. Awesome. The HTML is very basic, or it looks like it is. If they're rendering photos like that, there's something sophisticated going on back here. And I'm going to look through it because I bet that there are hidden Easter eggs in the code as well. And the format of this website is like somebody obsessed with like a crime blogger. It's a crime blog. Okay.
Yeah.
And so on it, there are like crime scene photos. And there are, I think most of them we catch glimpses of in the movie. There are some that aren't familiar to me, but you know, we got so many like quick flashes of them in the movie that who knows, maybe they were in there. And it's written like episodically, with different blog posts. Like, here's what we've learned. Here's what we've learned. Here's a recap of these murders. Here's the timeline. Here are, like questions written in from readers, quote unquote. And the person running the website responds to those with like theory discussion. It's very interesting. It's a very fun website. And then one of the last questions, it's long. It took me probably 45 minutes to read through everything. And down at the end, the last question that's written in is, I'm just asking, who are you? We don't have a name or anything. I understand if you wish to remain anonymous for online purposes, but I feel really weird you know all of this and aren't giving your name out. And his response is, I'm just a friend of a friend of a friend, and this friend wants me to stay. And then there are links that download files, and the text of the links are the cipher. And so I downloaded the first one, and it's more crime scene photos and also like text of a book referenced in the blog, in this blog. So in this blog, we learn a couple things that are not mentioned in the movie at all. And I'm sorry for our listeners who haven't seen this movie. Just like
turn this off, go see it.
See it.
We're gonna spoil everything, but you need to go see it. This is a movie this is gonna be in my top 3 this year for sure.
Absolutely.
It's probably gonna be the top, but I don't know until we finish the year.
We gotta. So I mean, Cuckoo looks really good.
It does.
So we'll find out.
Oh, and Shelby Oaks. Damn, that was the other one.
Shelby Oaks. Do we have a release date for that yet?
No, it did premiere last week.
Oh, good.
This time-wise, this is going to be many weeks in the future for everybody else. It premiered last week at Phantasma? It's a film festival. But they are getting distributed by Neon, so I would assume that there would be a fully release date soon.
There have to be. Okay.
It'd be so good.
So excited about that one, too. Okay, so sorry, listeners.
Yeah, sorry.
I promise that I will give a plot recap in a second, but we are jumping into the deep end right now with these ciphers. So in this blog, it mentions a couple things of note. One, that some of the neighborhoods where murders had occurred, there are eyewitnesses of people at the scene. One of them, man with long hair, one of them, old woman. So from the movie, we can guess who those people are. 2, it mentions that at the crime scenes, there is like satanic scrawlings on the wall, which I don't think was mentioned in the movie. And that there's a book, oh God, this blog page is so long. It is called The Golden Bough, A Study in Magic and Religion by Scottish anthropologist Sir James George Fraser, is found at multiple murder scenes, opened to different pages.
Oh.
And so in these files that I downloaded, there are images of the text of a book, and I think it must be that. I think it has to be the pages that it was open to at these murders. And then the third thing is they mentioned that many of the girls who were killed had a plastic red toy piano.
Oh, interesting.
Which I have some ideas about. I think that that's a fun flourish. I don't. Okay. So I am very excited. But the other thing in these files that I haven't gotten to look at yet, there are audio files, and I am so excited to dig into them. I cannot wait. But yeah, these are like.
Oh wow.
Crime.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about how they would be like.
Yeah. What are we going to be?
Is it going to be Longlegs' voice? That was okay. We are jumping into the deep end.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. This is gonna be something we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just go ahead and say it right now.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage's performance.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh.
The greatest.
So good.
So fucking good.
And so
unsettling.
Weird.
Yeah.
So like perfectly weird.
So good.
He nailed that character.
And I was going to ask because you watched it for the 3rd time today.
Yes, yeah.
If one of the reasons is because like that character is also really, that character draws you in. And like after watching it, there aren't any trailers or very much videos of the character outside of watching the movie. Yeah. That's the reason I want to watch the movie again.
Yes.
Is because you don't get to spend time. Like, I'm like, I have to spend time with the character again. Oh my God. It sounds like the movie is haunting me.
It sort of is.
Like, I have to go back because it's like, yeah. It was, there were some moments, this is going to sound really weird, but it felt comforting and uncomfortable at the same time. Like, it just had like a
Yes.
weird contradictory feeling.
Yes. Yes. I know exactly what you mean. I think that why do we think that is? I think
Because we
that the
love Nicolas
cinema
Cage so
because we
much.
love Nicolas Cage. You're right.
And we could feel his vibe underneath the scary.
Just
I don't know.
permeating.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like the character is scary, but not scary, but is. And it's like, I don't know. It's also like, and that is the beauty of the character and how it was written, how it was portrayed. Is just like, yeah, a kid would be, I don't want to be like a kid would be comfortable, but I was like, I'm weirdly comfortable around. Like, I'm weirdly not unsettled at this moment. Like, I can tell he's being weird,
Right.
but not, I'm not getting like, I'm not getting alarms. I'm not getting flat.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this has something maybe terrible about me.
No, I think that is a huge part of the movie is because he just seems like a weirdo. He just seems like like this guy is cuckoo. He keeps doing that like cuckoo, cuckoo, like lifting his hands over his eyes. He's just a nut job who, I don't know. We know that guy. That guy's our neighbor, you know? Like, I feel like we all grew up going to church with that guy. Like,
yeah. And he's normally not like worshiping Satan and doing a bunch of stuff.
Or
he's
is
just
he?
like, maybe. Yeah. It's,
yeah.
it just was not, yeah. So impressed with how the
So
range of
good.
emotions that I felt. And that's like, I feel like the testament of when I really like a movie is just, it made me feel a lot on both ends, which I even think a movie is good if it makes me feel a lot on one end. Like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But this one just like, I don't know, took everything.
And I kept thinking about it.
Yeah.
I had to. And here's something that I love about a movie is I've seen it 3 times. I got to go see it. Like, I have to watch it again because I have more ideas that I want to look for.
And now you have
like,
this entire website to associate with it, so you'll even be trying to find links between that.
Oh, and one of the things I'm excited about on this website is all of the cipher letters that were found at the crime scenes are on here. So I want to decipher them. Oh, God, just little clues,
Yeah, just having so much lore around it.
Yeah.
And having that available.
Ooh, just
That's
sink
so
your teeth
fun.
in. Just sink them in.
So fun.
Okay, so here, 20 minutes into the episode, let's run through credits. Written and directed by our boy, Osgood Perkins. You know him. You love him. We learned about him, Dead and Breakfast. Or at least that's where I learned about him. Did you know about him?
Yeah, he was in Legally Blonde. As the, like, tall, nerdy friend.
Nope, I'm not gonna. I think I've maybe seen that once.
Because whenever we watched Dead and Breakfast, I immediately was like, oh, it's him. Oh, that's
yay.
cute. Yeah. But, did we talk about Anthony Perkins is his father?
Yeah, that's Norman Bates of Bates Motel. Hotel? Motel. Motel? Hotel.
Bates Motel. Motel?
Motel.
Psycho.
Psycho, yeah. And that movie has some weird stuff about moms. This movie has some weird stuff about moms. I'm a little bit concerned for the Perkins boys, but...
Oh, well, they have... I did watch a thing where he talked about... he didn't talk about it, but somebody else was like... He talked about it. I'm going to cite it at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
It was a girl who, like, went through different facts about the film. She was a YouTuber. She did a great job and happy to share it. But she had said that he had said that the movie was partially based upon his father because his father led basically 2 lives and didn't tell him stuff. And there's a lot that was never told to him that he had to, like, surmise and, like, try to figure out, which is, I think, what goes on with the main character and how she doesn't understand anything that's going on, and trying to figure out what's going on is really difficult. And
good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. That's part of my, like, understanding of the movie is treating children like they're dolls that you have to
Yeah.
protect and not break. But yes, that makes total sense. In fact, I've seen him talk about that a little bit on what was that horror anthology that Netflix did with queer creators? Was it just like queer horror, queer something? I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I'll find it and put it in the show notes. But yeah, he discussed his father's second life. His father was most likely gay, maybe bisexual, and it sounded like from him that his mom knew that and was like supportive of that, and they just stayed together for the kids. And Osgood's brother, Elvis, if I'm remembering correctly.
They chose names. They chose names.
I mean, go big or go home. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Was like the composer for the movie. He was involved in all of the music stuff, which I am excited to talk about for the movie. But let's finish the credits. God, Kelly,
this is going to be the longest episode we've ever recorded.
We're so excited. Okay, so the stars are Micah Monroe. Micah?
I don't know how to... Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name.
I don't know. As Agent Lee Harker, obviously Nicolas Cage as Longlegs. We've got Blair Underwood as Agent Carter, who is Micah's superior. I was going to say boss, but I guess superior. And Alicia Witt as Ruth Harker, Lee Harker's mother. And there are some additional actors. Did you know any of them? Oh, Kiernan Shipka.
Yeah. That's who I was going to say.
Yeah. I didn't recognize anybody else.
Same.
Yeah. And honestly, I didn't recognize Kiernan Shipka at first. Like, it took me a couple seconds. And then I was like, oh, that makes sense. She was in The Black Coat's Daughter.
Yeah.
Another Osgood Perkins film. And in this movie, we're primarily following Lee Harker. Boy, am I going to be able to do a plot synopsis without being like, and here are my thoughts on. So, setting the scene, we're following Agent Lee Harker, FBI agent, and she is working the Longlegs serial killer case along with a big task force with the FBI. And the Longlegs serial killer case is very strange. It's a bunch, they present more as family annihilators, like family after family after family is murder-suicided, always the father committing the murders and suicides. And at these crime scenes, we find letters that are in a code of some sort signed by Longlegs. And so already we're getting like Zodiac vibes. And I would say that this movie feels a lot like the movie Zodiac. And so we follow Harker as she starts this investigation. She has some interesting hunches very early on. And I loved that the FBI was like, sick. We're going to real quick test to see if you're psychic. Okay, you're a little bit psychic. We love that. Send her into the field. And so she and her supervisor pursue this case, which gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And we come to find out that there is some sort of connection to Lee and her family and Longlegs. How much more do I want to say?
That was a good,
Thank you.
That was a good summary.
Thanks.
And a quick one. I was like, I don't know how you're going to do it quick because the movie has so much in it.
There's so much.
Can I ask what your story was whenever you went to see it today?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I went to the theater today, and when I was checking in with my
you know, you got to check in.
I was checking in to Bates Motel. And when the guy scanned my ticket, he was like, oh, Longlegs, that's supposed to be good. And I was like, yeah, this is my third time seeing it. Can confirm. It is good. And then I went over to buy popcorn because
As you
obviously.
do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the girl was like, "What are you seeing?" And I said, "Longlegs." And she was like, "I've seen it 4 times." And I
you're
was
like, third time.
yeah, I was like, "I'm catching up. I'm catching up." And she was like, "I want to see it 6 times because, I think that works with the movie." And I was like, "That's a great goal. I think I'm going to too."
Oh.
And
Is
that's
this at the
good
new
part of
theater
this
that you have to go to because your other one shut down?
I'm working out which theater I'm going to go to.
I mean, you found a
those are
comrade in
good
that one.
people.
You found a friend.
Yeah. I, however, hate going to this theater.
Okay, that's fair.
So we'll see. It's the most convenient one, though. It's like 10 minutes away.
How are the chairs?
Not great.
Bummer.
But they do serve wine. And the
Okay.
other theater I've been going to does not serve wine, but the chairs are good. So there's another theater that I'm going to start scoping out.
Okay.
So the one today was a Cinemark. My usual one is Regal because I've got Regal Unlimited.
Yeah.
And then my old Regal closed. So I've been driving 20 minutes to a different Regal. Good chairs, no wine,
Gotcha.
but cold. And then the
Oh.
one I went to today, close by,
Not cold?
yes, wine, always hot.
Ooh,
Always hot.
Weird.
Always so hot.
That's gross.
It's miserable.
I do not like that. You can't go to a movie with more people then. You can't go to a movie that has like a packed theater.
Exactly.
Because that's like the equivalent of being in hell.
Yes.
I mean, I love packed theaters and everyone enjoying the movie together. But that, with it hot, ugh.
I know.
Ugh.
And then
I'm smelling it right now. Sorry.
yeah, it's miserable.
I'm having a time.
And then the third theater that I'm going to start evaluating is an AMC.
Okay.
And their Regal Unlimited equivalent seems pretty good. It's not unlimited like
Is it
like
Stubs?
Regal. It's Stubs.
Gotcha.
And it's about the same price as Regal Unlimited. And it's 3 movies a week. So that's
Oh, okay.
effectively unlimited.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going
To more than 3
that
a week.
frequently.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
The Cinemark Club is trash. There's no reason for that. Unless maybe you have kids because their big deal is concessions, deals on concessions. But
Oh, okay.
I need the movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last time I went to the AMC, it was so hot that I thought I was going to have a panic attack or throw
God.
up. So
Yeah.
we will find out tune in 2 weeks to find out if I've made a decision. Oh, and the last time I went, there's this ancient old man who works at the Regal I've been going to, and he is a ticket taker, and he's always perfectly pleasant. I go in, he's very polite. He doesn't know how to work his phone very well to scan my phone, but it
He's
just takes
trying,
a couple seconds longer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. And so I go in and I'm wearing very short shorts because those are the only shorts I own.
And it's hot out.
It's hot out.
Yeah.
And he looks me up and down for a second and I was like, is this man about to comment on my body? And instead he goes, well, your legs don't seem that long. Well, maybe they'll be longer when I get out.
Oh, bless him. Oh.
Yeah, love him. Love him. So, old man's still okay. Yeah. Great movie. Great movie. Gonna keep going back. Gonna keep interacting with people. And
Hopefully I'll have a fun story when I go this weekend.
yeah.
I feel like we have to just keep going to see this movie to keep it in theaters. And I just want it to have the longest run in theaters that any movie can have.
The gal who had seen it 4 times and was aiming for 6 was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to 6 because I think it's gonna be out of theaters soon.
No. Okay, now I'm really worried it's not in theaters.
Yeah, because all of these other movies are coming in, and people, and like Wolverine and Deadpool.
I'm having to look right now because now I'm actually very worried that I won't get to see it. And I'm not okay with not seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that. They still have A Quiet Place.
I think that is getting more sustained viewership.
Well, that's fine. I'm not upset by that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I want Longlegs to be there, longer legs.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so Longlegs is still going. Phew, gonna see it.
Phew.
It stinks because it's at the one that has the less comfortable.
See, we're having to make compromises on
We
our movie
are for our
theaters.
movies. I don't want to do that. Which I thought that one of the movie theaters usually gears towards children, and that's not the one I go to, and it has
No.
the less comfortable seats. So you would think Longlegs would be at the one that is, and that one has a bar.
Huh.
But they have it at the one that's geared towards children.
Does the one that's geared toward children have bigger theaters? Smaller theaters?
They could fit more people
Okay.
in the theaters because they have the less comfortable seats.
Well, then that's kind of nice because they were like, Longlegs, people are going to go see that.
I don't think that's what.
Oh, okay.
It's not in one of the bigger theaters. It's in a smaller theater. It was when I
trying
saw
to be
it,
optimistic.
but the logic in it is you put a movie, if you have a movie that's going to have a big crowd, you usually put the first showing of the day a movie that's not going to get a big crowd, so then it's not hard to clean.
That makes sense.
So I was in a big theater. There wasn't a ton of people. And I was confused because I thought there was going to be because of it. I thought it was going to be packed. And I was like, oh, they put it in a huge theater. Is it going to be packed? And then I got in and I was like, oh, this is a cleaning thing.
Yeah.
So, bummer. But was excited to see it in a big theater. And excited to watch it again. And again. And again. Forever.
And again and again and again.
Yeah. I'm going to own it. I am going to purchase it when
agreed.
it comes out immediately. Wow. I haven't said that about a movie in a while.
Oh, no. It's pre-order price guarantee for both DVDs and digital. Yeah. I want
Both.
both.
I would like both, thank you. I guess Late Night with the Devil. Wouldn't mind having that
Yeah,
one.
I want that one. I bet there are goodies in that one too.
Yeah.
Like I want the extras.
The behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
Yes, I want all of the scenes, all of the behinds.
All of the legs.
All of the legs. Okay.
Let's get back into it.
So, what were your thoughts when this movie starts? Do you remember what it is? It comes out swinging.
It comes out swinging.
Yeah. There's a jump scare in the cold open.
Yeah.
And it's just Nicolas Cage's face.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
In the cold open.
It's funny because it is very cold. So there's a lot of snow.
Thank you. Snow on the ground. It's 1974. And Nicolas Cage drives up to Lee's house. We don't know that it's Lee yet. She's a little girl. She comes out the stairs to meet this guy out in the snow, just being weird. And like comes over to her and is like, oh, hi, you're the birthday girl. This isn't how he talks. He talks in a very affected manner. But he's like, hi, you're a birthday girl, little angel. Oh, but it appears that I wore my long legs today. What happens if I... And then he just bends his knees to be like down on her angle. And his face is painted white and he's got all of this cosmetic like fillers done. And that's our first jump scare. Like him just bending his face.
Yeah. Just being like,
which
oh
is
God,
startling.
what is that?
It's startling. But I loved this so much because it was filmed like it was in the 70s. Like it had the square aspect ratio, which we've seen a couple times this year in horror movies. And the way it like follows the kid's eyes, like when she's looking to see who's out there, and it plays like such a classic suspense sound from old horror movies.
Oh, was it
like,
the loon?
Done.
Done.
like just a one chord suspense building. I loved everything about that. Very aesthetic. I wondered how they were going to transition out of it. And they just sort of zoomed in. It was good.
Yeah.
They just made it work. So the bulk of the movie is set in the 90s, which I thought was a good choice.
Agreed. Because you're pre all the new technology, so it doesn't get bogged down in technology, and you get to have like a lot of good visuals with like printed out things instead of things on a computer.
Yeah.
And phones still on wires in a house that you can't carry with you.
Friggin' payphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw somebody mention like, man, one Ring camera would have broken this whole case wide open. So, yeah, good that we said it earlier. But I think that we said it earlier for more interesting reasons than that.
And aesthetics.
And aesthetics.
Yeah.
For sure, the aesthetics are big time. Like chef's kiss. They're so good. There were, I don't even know where to begin. What do I want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
I did that thing where it's like I thought of everything, then everything came in my head at once, and then it left.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Every setting in the movie's good. Every piece of it's. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where to start, and I don't know where to end. It's just like all of it's good. Everyone's performance is phenomenal.
So incredible.
I can't think of one person that I was like, man, that wasn't that good. Every person. No. Even the guy in the beginning that was her partner for like 2 seconds. That guy.
He was like perfectly goody two-shoes in a grating, off-putting way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Impeccable. And it's horror and it's grisly. The crimes are grisly. But I wouldn't really describe this movie as gory.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to think.
There is an amount of gore.
Yeah.
But so I was talking to a friend of mine about this. I know we've mentioned this on the podcast, but Chelsea and I don't really talk about the movies and our thoughts on the movies ahead of recording.
Yeah.
And so coming out of this, I was so excited I had to talk to somebody. So
That's fair.
had to talk to somebody else.
That's okay.
And she is just over the last year or two, just now exploring horror. It's always been like too scary for her. And we're both trying to figure out where her limit is. So when she's like, can I go see a movie? Some of them I'm like, yes, absolutely. Like Late Night with the Devil, I was like, yes, go.
Yeah.
And then with Talk to Me, I was like, under no circumstances. Yeah. You cannot watch that one.
Sorry.
With Longlegs, right? With Longlegs, I was like, could go either way. I'm not really sure about this one. She took the risk, went and saw it, was not too upsetting. And I was like, how did you feel about the gore? Because for lack of a better word, I found it to be tasteful.
I mean, I guess that is correct. I'm trying to think of the specific scenes, and I think the interrogation room.
The interrogation
is the one
room is
that I
the
felt
worst.
like was the worst one.
Yeah. Which, interestingly, very reminiscent of Talk to Me.
Yes. Oh.
Yep. Sorry.
But that one hurt.
That one was way worse.
That one hurt more. That one hurt more. I keep repeating because I am now going back to it and being like, oh my God.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I still love that movie. So,
but
that is one that I'm like, I want to watch again, but I'm kind of, that one did have violence that I was like, maybe I don't want to, like, there are scenes that I don't want to see again, but I really like them. But this one, there wasn't any scenes that I feel like I'd be worried to watch again. The one in the interrogation room would be the only one that would make me uncomfortable. Even when it was happening, I think I was like, oh my God. And then
I did look a little bit away today. Yeah. I was just like, it's 11 a.m. It's a little early. It's a little early to
to see that.
Yeah, maybe I'll wait.
See not that there anymore.
Yeah. All his fillers popped. Yeah. And then the only, like, the crime scene photos, we don't see them up close very often. Usually we just see like a flash of them on the screen. And so the only other two gory scenes of note are Goody Two-Shoes being shot right at the beginning. And even that is very stylized. Oh, I guess there's some axe murders.
Yeah, I was going to say the axe murder. Yeah. As we talk about it, are you like, well, wait a minute. There's a couple.
There is more. But even those, they're very stylized. Like, it's not, it's tasteful. It's tastefully done. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
In the plot description I gave, I left out all of the doll stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to
talk about it.
Explain it.
There are dolls.
That
have Satan
in them, in a little sphere.
In a ball.
In their noggins. See, do you see what we mean?
Go. And it's like, if you say it, then you sound weird.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I did love the scene though where they took he had the ball out, and then the guy was like, I kept saying my ex-wife's name. And I was like, that's fucking weird.
Even that guy gave an incredible performance.
Yeah.
So that's a medical examiner who is doing an autopsy on a doll. And so opens up her noggin, takes out this sphere, and like examines her hair and the construction of the doll. And the way he's describing, he's on screen for a minute with this guy, and he gives a notable performance because the way he's describing the construction of the doll is so loving.
Yes.
Like, he's so beguiled by this doll. He's like,
you could tell it was a craftsman that really like
really cared for his work. Yeah, he's like,
it's real hair, right? He said it was real hair.
It's human hair, what's left of it.
Yeah.
And just the way he describes the sphere, the brain. He's like, I've been calling it the brain. And he holds that device up to it so we can hear that it's making a noise. And the writing here I thought was really interesting. Like you said, he's like, I could have sworn it was saying my ex-wife's name. And then there's a beat and he goes, but of course it wasn't. Like, that's weird. That's super a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
That's so weird. And while he's saying that, like, Harker is having a premonition.
Yeah. Of snakes.
Of snakes. And then of, oh boy, we are all over the place. So the dolls are made by Longlegs, and they look like the girls, the young girls who are his victims, who are the focus of his crimes, that he makes families kill each other. This is so hard to talk about.
Yeah. It's a lot and it's everywhere, but it all makes sense.
It does, and makes more sense the more times you see the movie.
I'll see it 3 more times. We got to see it 6.
Got to.
So
6 times, yeah.
I guess this weekend I'm just going to buy it back to back.
I might have to.
I'm going to buy all 4 tickets
leave.
and I'm going to be like, I'm not leaving. This is my seat.
I'm posted up.
They'll be like, could you leave while we clean? I'll be like, you can just clean around me.
Just clean around me.
It's fine. I've done this before. You can just do it around me.
I'll sit crisscross applesauce so my feet are out of the way.
Yeah.
But I'm posted up.
I shoved all the popcorn under the seat. You have nothing to clean here. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
I brought my own little dustpan. We're good.
So she has a vision of that doll being created, and and Longlegs draping a sheer like scarf over it, a sheer black scarf. Oh, that's something that I noticed about the cold open. Even the first time I watched it, we in the cold open are seeing out of the Lee Harker doll's eyes.
Oh.
Like, I noticed it because you can see like fabric. I know now that you can see like fabric draped over it, but it just sort of looked grainy and obscured, and like there was like something smudged on it. But then seeing it the second time, I was like, that's a fucking fold in the fabric. So we're seeing out of the doll's eyes. So are we seeing it from like Lee's eyes?
I don't know.
You see, I got to go see it again because I've got more thoughts.
But she can only see what she... That's the thing that's weird about it, is it chooses what she sees and what she doesn't see.
It did, but has she unlocked all of that now?
That's the thing that I don't understand. I guess that's something that I would want to talk about, is at the end of the movie, a family goes through this and Lee shows up and there is a doll and there is a girl and she saves the girl basically, but the doll is still there and she tries
question mark? Yeah.
Yeah, question mark. And then she tries to shoot the doll and it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know. I like, the girl isn't there because she's being controlled, but we don't know how much they're controlled or if they're just controlled in the sense of creating absence.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering, because it was like, they see what he allows them to see and shows them things. And I'm like, but does he control their actions, or are the actions products of what they see and don't see, I guess?
Well, that's a great question for everybody. Are you your actions, and how much of your actions are dictated by experience?
Your perception
versus, yeah. So
Oof.
That's a whole other layer.
Yeah.
That's a whole other layer.
That's another 2 hours. Man,
yeah. Okay. We got to delve into the nature of these dolls. So what happens is Longlegs picks a family, targets a family where one of the daughters, or the only daughter, has a birthday on the 14th of a month. And fanning out from there, within a range of 6 days on either side, the whole family gets killed, centered around the daughter's birthday. And leading up to the birthday, this doll is delivered as a birthday present to the girl. And from there, it's a little fuzzy because we know Lee's experience. We know a little bit about Kiernan Shipka's experience. Mm-hmm. And we see the beginnings of it with Miss Ruby Carter at the very end. So we don't really have a ton of information about what goes on once those dolls arrive. Here's what we do know is that doll contains a little bit of Satan. When it arrives, the girls seem to be like totally enamored with it, totally obsessed with it. And it affects the family very negatively. Yeah. Very casually, very negatively.
It's like an really high EMF.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like get headaches all the time, are a little on edge.
Yeah.
Murder each
kill their
other.
families. Just casual.
Yeah, just casual.
And from Kiernan Shipka, she is the only survivor that we know of, apart from Lee. And she has been like catatonic for years since her family was murdered while she was at school. And she wakes up when they find the doll. And so that's already interesting. We uncover the doll, which somebody hid away in the basement of a barn. When the doll is uncovered, she's lost all of this hair.
Oh, yeah, good point.
How did that happen?
So I'm wondering, does he transfer dolls? Or does he have a bunch of brain balls? I know there's at least more than one brain ball. So maybe he has 5. But what's the use of having the doll after the family is eliminated? Mm-hmm. So the doll is taken back every time. So I think,
except for this case
where it was kept.
Where it was kept in this barn.
Because she survived.
Because she survived.
So they had to keep the doll. Mm-hmm. Anytime somebody survives, you have to keep the doll because you have to keep controlling them. But
I guess so.
If they don't survive, then the doll gets taken back because she leaves with the doll.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So she brings the doll back, and maybe that's the doll. But yeah, why did the doll not have hair? Did he still take everything from it so that he could use it, but then leave it? So then she was catatonic. So she was in a box.
She was catatonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until the doll was found, and then she wakes up, and then Longlegs goes to visit her. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to make sure that order of events was clear. Yeah. So the dolls are at the crux of it, and there definitely is some sort of psychic connection there.
And Longlegs leads her to the doll.
Oh, absolutely.
Directly to the doll. Yep. With the expectation, I guess, of her finding it and then him going and talking to her. And then the conversation that they have is so eerie.
So eerie. Yeah. Lee goes to visit Kiernan Shipka, who has finally awoken from her catatonia. And Kiernan just says some weird ass shit.
Yeah.
Happy as peaches. Yeah. Lee asks about the visitor, who was Longlegs. Presumably, it was Longlegs. Mm-hmm. And
signed in as her.
Signed in as Lee Harker. And Kiernan is like, oh, I never want to forget him. If he told me to take a jumper off the roof, I'd just be happy as peaches to do whatever he said. If he told me to kill you with my bare hands in this room and watch your eyes turn to blood as your heart goes pop, pop, pop.
Oh, okay, pop, pop. Yeah. It is pretty.
Well, I'd just
like,
be
what?
happy as peaches.
But I have a question about that. Because after finding out that, because she says, I've seen you before. Mm-hmm. And she had signed, Lee Harker was signed in the day before, and she doesn't see everything that she does, and she doesn't know of everything.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Could she have came and saw her the day before?
Interesting.
I wonder if it was her that visited her, and she was like, I've seen you.
Whoa. That's a whole layer that I had not expected because of something else that Kiernan says, which is, you've been to my house, or someone who looks just like you. Yeah. So I was like, oh, she saw her through the eyes of the doll.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But now I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's this whole extra layer. There's also something interesting that I haven't put the pieces of this together yet in my brain, which is that in that conversation, Kiernan calls her an angel bitch. And then later in the movie, once Longlegs has been arrested and is in custody, and we're watching that video of him singing her happy birthday, he asks one of the detectives detaining him, when will I get to see Lee Harker? Or when will I get to see her? And they say, who? And he says, Lee Harker, hark the herald angels sing.
Oh.
So there's something going on there that I don't think that I've put all the pieces together yet. Like,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it tomorrow, or
I gotta watch it 3 more times. Because the big question, right, is like, there is a Lee doll, and I know that her mom made this Faustian deal with the devil to protect Lee, and in exchange, her mom is Longlegs' accomplice and has been taking the dolls to these families' houses and then sitting and watching while the murders happen so that she can take the doll back. And my question is, what happened? What happened with Doll and Lee?
Yeah. Did she
Lee goes back to her house and her mom shoots the doll, and Lee collapses after smoke leaves her head in conjunction with the doll. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. That is an open question to help us wonder. Yeah, I don't.
There's also a lot of imagery. Okay, so here's why. Okay.
Okay, we have to go back. So there are 3 books we have to read prior to going through this.
Yeah. Actually,
look at this board.
Yeah, I've got my murder board about a murder movie. There was a book that I started reading for this. It's actually a book that I bought visiting you in Seattle. Oh. And it is called How the Occult Saved Rock and Roll.
I do remember. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Because this movie, this gets into a lot of music and a lot of, I think that this goes back to why they set it in the 90s instead of a different time.
Oh, that's
because
a good point.
Having it set in the 90s means that Longlegs was clearly like a metalhead, like a glam rocker. I think that he was a singer. I think that in his sad little bedroom, he's got a poster of himself on the wall.
No.
When he was a performer. And so I think that he's like a washed up musician. And in the 70s, when rock musicians were so tangled up in mysticism and the occult and satanic imagery, that just lines up timeline wise.
Yep.
So I think that that's why we set it there.
Smart.
And that means that a lot of the murders were happening during the Satanic Panic. So it all sort of lines up with the real life timeline of people's obsession with stuff like this. I had a different point. This was a tangent, but
I don't know. I liked that. I didn't think about him being a rocker himself. I just thought I was like, he sang a lot. I just thought it was a weird quirk.
I think too.
But that makes a lot. Well, it starts off with a quote from T-Rex.
which I have been listening to a ton of. They
Because of
fucking
the movie?
slap.
They
dude.
do.
Yeah, because of the movie.
Yeah, I've always loved T-Rex.
I really only knew like the two songs
Same. Bang
that
Bang Dong and...
Mambo Sun. Is that what it's called?
Oh, that's not the one I know. The other one is... Oh, I just looked it up the other day. And by the other day, I mean I was also listening to it, but I was only listening to the two songs that I knew. So there's that. Cosmic Dancer, Hot Left. Oh, 20th Century Boy. And Children of the Revolution. Okay, I knew more than...
Okay, fuck. I guess I know a bunch of their songs. Fine.
Yeah, but T-Rex, great.
Yeah, they slap. So, here was another point that I wanted to make. Did you notice at the end when it plays the credits are rolling in reverse?
Yeah, credits going the other way. I didn't see it. I went with a couple people, and I get really nervous around. I love seeing movies alone.
Yeah, same.
Which is going to sound bad. I love hanging out with friends, and I love seeing movies with friends, but I also love seeing movies alone because I have no need to care about what anybody else around me feels or thinks about the movie. But when I'm with people, I'm like, I hope they're having a good time. It's really important to me that they're having a good time.
No.
And then I feel really out of it a little bit. This movie did a good job of making sure I just focused on the movie, which was great.
Enthralled.
But at the end of it, whenever it ended, everyone stood up, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta get my stuff. Oh God, I have to get my Invisalign. I have to get this. I have to get this." You know, it's just like a million things that I...
Yeah, but the credits roll in reverse of what they do in a usual movie, which immediately made me think...
So it goes from the bottom up?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
It was weird. Or the other way. Maybe it was top down. I can't remember. Whatever is reversed.
Whatever it normally is.
Yeah, I just remember being like, that's weird.
Oh, yeah, because bottom up would be normal. But if you go down, because it would be like director, but if you go like this. Yeah. And was it like the end, like it would be the studios the first thing you see and the director would be the last thing you see? Or was it?
I can't remember, but I remember having that same question.
So whenever we go see it,
yeah,
we'll come back with it. My question is about the end, not the credits. What do you think happened after?
Okay, can I finish my thought about the reversal?
Please, sorry. Yeah.
That just made me think, you know what else was going on in the 70s and 80s is secret messages in reverse in music.
Oh, fun.
So I cannot wait to... That's part of why I want this on DVD.
Put it backwards?
Yeah. I'm
fun.
That is in there. And I mentioned that to a friend because... The same friend who I was like, yeah, maybe you should go watch it. Maybe not. I don't know. Mentioned it to her and she was like, I have exciting news for you. And so she shared an article with me. They did do that. There are secret messages in reverse in the music and, or in the soundtrack, not just the music, but like
throughout the movie. And some of them are so stupid. It's like rate and review 10 stars. And you're like, fuck, it worked. It worked. Can you hear us?
It worked.
Can you hear us right now? It worked.
But yeah, what happens at the end? What happens at the end?
Yeah.
What happens at the end?
So there was somebody who had a theory that it would go on to be a loop again. So like she would now have to become Longlegs to keep the girl safe. Or become her mother to keep the girl safe.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, that would be a mess. I don't know what would have happened. And like, I think it ended really well by ending where it did because it left that question open. And I don't want an answer to it.
Right.
I don't want a sequel. I don't want more information. I think that they did a phenomenal job leaving that open-ended.
Okay, let's describe this ending scene. Whole movie has happened. We're stressed out.
Yeah, super stressed.
At this point, the Lee doll has been shot, and so presumably Lee is now free. Mm-hmm. And her mom even says that when right before her mom shoots the Lee doll, she says she finds out that Longlegs is dead. She says, "Oh, so he's free." And then, "So are you, baby girl," shoots the doll. And then Lee passes out. Her mom goes to Carter's house. This is Lee's supervisor. Lee and Carter's daughter have the same birthday, January 14th. And so the reason Lee's mom is over there is because it is Ruby's birthday party. So she is delivering the doll. And by the time Lee gets there, Satan's fingers are all up in this birthday party. So Ruby is like enamored with this doll. She's obsessed with it. Carter is already possessed. The mother is acting very strangely. Not Lee's mother, Ruby's mother, Carter's wife. And Carter takes his wife to the kitchen, kills her off screen, comes back bloody and monstrous, and Lee has to shoot him. And then her mother says, I had to do this to save you. If I don't do this, we'll both burn and twist in hell forever. And she says that this family has to die in order to protect us from that fate. And so she takes out a dagger to like stop Lee from stopping the murders, and Lee has to shoot her own mother in the head. And Ruby is still enamored with the doll. Lee tries to shoot the doll. The gun malfunctions, or she's out of ammo, whatever. And then the movie's over. So we don't really know what happens there. I hate the idea that it continues, but I think that is likely because of that. The reason I wanted to call back to that scene and that line where her mom says, "Oh, Longlegs is free now." And how like he had like an expression of ecstasy when he was killing himself. Like, "Oh, this is finally the fuck done. Over." Yeah.
Because he was like passing the baton to her.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like her mom was going through the same thing.
Do you think she would go by long legs or short arms?
Ooh, T-Rex. Bang up. Yeah. Oh, no. I hate that idea. I was sort of thinking that maybe Ruby
would carry it on.
Or I don't know. Now that I've heard it, that's what makes the most sense. And I think that I've just been avoiding thinking that because I hate it so much.
I don't know how it could happen, or I don't know, but it's like, damn, what a bleak ending. Smile all over again.
I know. Well, I do think that this is a pretty nihilistic view of the world. Like this movie is very, like evil is out there every day.
Yeah.
And you can't stop it.
Yeah.
Like Satan and his minions are out there, and it felt like this whole thing was orchestrated around Lee specifically for decades.
Oh yeah.
For no reason other than like the devil didn't have anything better to do. Except I do keep coming back to those lines about angels. Like, am I reading too far into that? I don't think so. I think that this movie is purposefully building a lot of lore, and I am...
Well, if you talk about that, she's like, did you say your prayers? No, they scare me.
And so, okay, I was thinking about that too. I wonder if part of why the devil didn't have sway over her is because she like didn't buy into God. I don't know. I'm going to have to noodle on this some more.
We're just going to have to keep watching it.
What can you do?
Look
forward to our new segment on the show.
The 15th time we've watched Longlegs. This will be our new Dead and Breakfast, but it's not like every time we'll be like this. We have to dissect it just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
A little bit more.
I have new thoughts, new ideas. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like going into, even coming out of the movie the first time, Longlegs was the bad guy. And then the more I thought about it, the more I felt bad for him. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that I'm only feeling worse and worse for him. Like some
He's just a doll maker, man.
He was just a
he was a really good doll maker.
and a musician who like got caught up in the like sexy aesthetic of Satanism and like accidentally sold his soul to the devil, you know?
No, it happens.
It could happen to any of us, which is what the movie is about. Like, especially with her mom being like, I did all this for you.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie 3 times, and every time she says, I did all this for you, I'm like, well, I didn't ask you to. Like, I'm so mad every time.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Oh, in that last scene, when Lee kills her mother, she like plaintively says to her, like, Mom, stop. And as her mom is lifting the dagger, she says, don't call me, and then is killed. What? Don't call me Mom? So is she like fully taken at that point?
I don't know.
I don't know either. And also, so we talked about how the doll like guides her direction, what she sees and what she doesn't see. And that is like the root of her psychic abilities. And throughout the movie, every time she has one of these like highly intuitive moments where she has an aha moment about what's going on, there's like a whisper that circles around her and a devil figure like over her shoulder or through the window, like he's somewhere around. And every time I go see the movie, I spot some more little spooky devils, which sounds so lame. You guys,
I mean, I didn't.
Not lame.
I wish that it was just like a shadow and it didn't full on have horn. Like, I wish it was a little more mysterious. That was probably my only big complaint.
Yeah. Well, I'm willing to let it go.
Ooh, I did have a question.
Yeah.
In what world would I feel comfortable with someone having a replica doll of my daughter?
No.
Like, somebody comes and they're like, you've won this. I'd be like, absolutely not. I have to call the police.
Yeah, no. Get out of here.
Immediate police. Like, if they had a doll that didn't look like my daughter, I would be like, oh, okay. This is just a giant doll. That's fine.
I'd still be like...
With it being good a quality, but I'm thinking of, like, the Barbies... Because in the 90s, those Barbies that were life-size Barbies were, like, so hot.
Oh, I guess so. I guess so. I'd be like, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
We have an appointment. Can you leave? And then I would hide the doll in the barn under the floorboards. Never let my kids see it. Like, that's weird. I don't like that. Somebody just rolling up.
With a doll? No.
With a huge doll?
Anytime someone gives me a doll, I'm like, no.
How many dolls have you been given? I know you've been given at least one. I can think of one.
I have 10 under my bed at my dad's.
Explain yourself.
Of porcelain dolls. 10 porcelain dolls.
Oh.
Still in boxes.
Are they normal sized?
Yeah. Oh, were you asking
were these
if I had
given
one
you by
life-size
family?
doll?
No. I'm just asking for more details about
family.
the dolls.
And
but never a stranger?
Ooh. Are you saying I have a doll from a stranger?
I've never received a doll from a stranger.
You said you know I have one doll. What's the doll that I have that you know of?
A friend of yours from the movie theater gave it to you.
Yeah. Spencer, the one that was the one from the that really good movie.
Haha.
Brothers Bloom. Is that what it was?
Longlegs. Yeah. Brothers Bloom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still have that. Still has firecrackers on it. I get worried about transporting that from place to place because it does have.
Oh.
But I'm sure it's fine.
It's probably fine. Could you like spritz it with water to like?
That's really smart.
Thanks.
I could. Yeah. I think I could. I should probably do that. Do I have any life-size dolls?
No, I don't.
Would that be a
mannequin
don't. Now? Like if I would have to get a mannequin.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. You're pretty little. They probably make
a little mannequin
your size.
Oh, okay. Thank you. They probably do. I'll just get one of those life-size Barbies again.
Yeah.
I'm sure they still have them.
Well, I guess they make all sorts of adult dolls.
Oh, good point. I do not have any of those. Shockingly.
Oh, I've got a couple. I open a door. It looks just like you.
I'd be like, I have an appointment. I have to go.
I'm like, but it's from the church. You won.
God.
Man. I don't know. I have so many thoughts on this movie.
We're going to have to do another episode. I think we're going to have to like talk about 2 or 3 more movies and then do a refresh on this.
Circle back.
Yeah, I think we will.
I have one more thought for you so that you can
look out
think about it. Yes. So I keep coming back to the fact that Kiernan Shipka was comatose until the doll was found, and the doll was found in a box. Mm-hmm. And we don't know where Lee's doll has been. With a cross on top.
Oh, I didn't think about that until exactly I was talking about it right now.
Same.
Or crucifix.
And crosses like leading the way to it. Like crucifixes pointing
so then this
the way
goes back
to find.
But Longlegs is the one that's... I don't know.
See, I think that he is fucking tired of doing the devil's work.
So he's trying to get... And
I think her mom was doing the same thing when her mom is like, I didn't get rid of anything. It's all in your room. Wink, wink. Like, I think that they were
trying to
both giving her these clues. But the thing that I get hung up about that is, okay, I have 2 thoughts for you. One is one that I didn't finish a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
Which is this. The doll directs her attention, right? But in these moments of psychic thoughts, we see that the devil is at play there. And some of those psychic thoughts are like cracking the cipher, knowing where to find what's happening. So it's these things that are leading that you would think you would want to keep secret from her unless there is a bigger objective that we don't see in the movie. And so that's why I keep coming back to the angel thing, and why I'm a little bit reluctant to think that the cycle would just continue with Lee. But maybe that's part of it too. Like, you're not special. It can happen to anyone. like, I don't know. My other thought is about this box imagery. There is so much imagery that looks like Lee is in a box. Like, when she is first poring over all of the case files, she's in that room alone. Like, it's wood paneled, no windows.
Yeah.
Her house, wood paneled, yes, huge windows, but we only see her there at night. Yeah. And so it's dark outside. So it feels very claustrophobic, like she's in a fucking box. And there are a couple scenes like that. If you pay attention, there are very few scenes where there are windows, like with light outside. And so when she goes to see Longlegs to interrogate him, it's so striking that we're in this bright white room with windows behind him. It's very interesting. I don't know that I've worked out anything around that, but it's very interesting. Well, that's a good point,
because you kept being like, where was her doll while she was she in a box? Like, did her mom keep her in a box, take her out sometimes, and like, was that part of it? Like, what? Yeah. That's super interesting. I'm going to keep my eye out for that on the next.
I know.
The next
watch. See, I got to go again.
There's so much. There's so much. There's so many layers. It's like a Kendrick Lamar song.
And I haven't read any of the fun facts. I got to read some interviews. I need to know what my boy Osgood has said about this.
So we have to come back. We have to do more. This is one that we really want to do way more research for and come back and talk about it. But we had to talk about it because we have been waiting to talk about it with each other for so long.
I know. I was like, even though I've seen it 3 times, I feel so ill-prepared, but I'm so excited.
So excited. Oh, God. It's such a good movie. And it's just...
so good.
And the more that I think about it, the more I like it. You know what I mean? Like, I liked it when I left, and it just keeps growing on you.
Yeah. And you know what it makes me want to do is revisit Blackcoat's Daughter. Because I know... Oh, so the first time I saw it, I texted you afterward, because I had a moment while watching Longlegs where I was like, oh, this reminds me of Blackcoat's Daughter. And then like half a second later, I was like, you fucking idiot. You know that it's the same director. You were excited about it for that reason. So I want to go revisit that. They did feel very similarly. And I remember that I liked Blackcoat's Daughter, but I didn't dig into it like this.
Yeah.
And now I'm curious if there's more to it that deserves some more attention. And he's got another movie that I haven't seen at all.
Oh.
I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the Castle or something along those lines. So, yeah, maybe next week or in 2 weeks we'll have some thoughts on some of
We might
Osgood
just have
Perkins.
like a snippet every episode where we continue to talk all
Yeah, we might. I mean, it's our new segment. I'll try to come up with a theme song. It'll just be me going, Longlegs, but I'll play it in reverse.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
I feel like you could win Can you win awards for... I mean, there are podcast awards. Ooh. Could you win like a Grammy?
A Grammy?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I have so many more thoughts, but none of them are coherent.
Okay. That's fair. We'll put them more into words and then we'll analyze a little bit more and come back to it.
What about you? Any closing thoughts?
I don't have more that I could think of. I'm just really excited to watch it again. Yeah. I wish I had watched it again before we recorded. Because, like, I had watched a couple videos on some stuff about it and was like, I'm going to keep this in my brain. And I think I mentioned a lot of it, but I probably didn't keep all of it. It is just a movie with a lot of layers, and it was really well done. And it is one that has really good rewatchability, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch it again, and I'm excited for everybody else to have watched it before they listen to this episode.
She says here at the end of the episode.
I said it near the beginning, kind of, as well.
That's true. That's true.
I hope that people went and watched it before we talked about it, but...
I don't know that anything we said makes sense.
Yeah, and if you guys want to talk to us about it anytime, leave comments.
Yes.
Leave 5 stars. And tell us how much you love Longlegs. Wait, no, how do you say it backwards?
I have to look at it. Hold on.
Did I do it?
Gelgnal.
Oh, that sounds right.
Is that the name of a demon?
Oh, no.
I feel like I just summoned something.
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, watch this movie. If you have theories and ideas or things that we got totally wrong or things that we totally missed, please email us, noshowmonster@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I'm ready to talk about this movie for the rest of my life.
This might just turn into a Longlegs podcast.
Whoops.
Whoopsie daisies. Every weekend we watch it and we're like, okay, this is how... There is a podcast that watched the same movie every week and they would just talk about it every week. I don't know I can't remember what it was.
Don't hate it.
But that is one that I'm like, I could watch this one for quite some time.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of my deserted island movies. Probably not. Yeah. I don't know if it would be. It might be. Probably not. Right now, it is taking up a lot of my brain space.
Yeah, it is. That's fine. That's fine by me. I don't have anything else in there except a sphere, an empty sphere. There's no dark That's another thing he said. He was like, I don't think the answers to your case are in this sphere because there's no substance or matter in there. That's a fucking weird thing to say. Just say it's empty.
How would he know?
Oh, he x-rayed it.
Oh, that's a good point. But in that, it's metal. How does that work?
I don't have answers. I don't have answers about x-ray machines.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up tomorrow.
Yeah, we can't be asking more questions here in the 11th hour.
Yeah, there are already too many.
Okay, so join us back here in 2 weeks to discuss Cuckoo, which I'm very excited about. And in the meantime, if you miss us, you can find us over on our other podcast called Debut Buddies, a podcast about firsts, or really a podcast about fun facts. And you can email us, noshowmonster@gmail.com. You can find us on most social media at noshowmonster. I make no promises about how active we are there. And please rate and review the podcast and share it with your friends. And go watch this movie.
It's so
good.
Go
watch this movie. And if you know Osgood Perkins, tell him hi.
Ditto.
Okay. Happy spookies.
Happy spookies. Yay, we did it.